All right, folks, we made it. Here we are, top 10 time. My top 10 favorite board games as of 2025. Thanks for sticking with me if you watched all the rest of these. Yeah, I own all of these games, though one of them I didn't own when I initially made the list back in January. And there's only one that is new to the list in total, but one of them jumped up 40 spots, so that's fun too. So let's get into it, especially because number 10 is the one that is new to the list. It is the one that I didn't own back in January, and this is SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. Um, Bob, you were wrong. You said that you didn't think it was going to make it to the top 10, and it did. I love this game. Um, so Bob got this game back in maybe December or something. I played it a couple times. I was like, this is great. I need to have this game. This is one of those games where every turn you do something and you get like that little boost of like, oh, I did a cool thing. I did a cool thing. I do this, which gives me this. Perfect. Love that. In some ways, it reminds me of Terraforming Mars because of that. Also has a big deck full of unique cards. Although this one is not really a tableau builder because you don't really build up the capability to do anything differently than your opponents, um, which is interesting. The theme of this game is you're obviously searching for alien life. And in the game, you're going to set it up, and then you're going to have like two aliens that will be discovered over the course of the game. So you'll play like the first round or two out of 5 rounds, and then you're going to discover one and then the other alien. And the aliens all change the game in certain ways. They change the rules, or they add some additional rules. Most of them add new cards and stuff like that. And they're really interesting. Certainly, I have like my favorites among the aliens, but they're all fun. And yeah, I'm having a blast playing this lately. Also, you got this cool middle board here, which is like the solar system, and it rotates. So that's fun. You got the sun in the middle, not the Earth for some reason. Very strange. They decided to go with that. And then all of the planets rotate around the sun, and like there's a little asteroid fields too. And so a little bit of player interaction with that. Certainly a lot of racing for different objectives. But yeah, it's a great game. SETI, looking forward to playing this one more in the coming years. As the only new game to the top 10, and it's not the highest that a game has debuted, as I'll talk about soon. But coming in at number 9, let's talk about, let's see, back in 2022, this was 6, then 8, then 6, now it's 9, right about the same spot, really. Tapestry. Tapestry is my highest game from Jamey Stegmaier, one of my favorite designers. I have all the expansions. There's a lot in this box. Tapestry is a civilization game, kind of, in that the theme is civilization, but the mechanics are you are just like going up these tracks and doing different actions. So on your turn, you either take like an income turn and you basically like get a bunch of stuff and move on to the next era, or you take an advanced turn, which means you will go and you'll discover something on one of the tracks, and it's going to give you a bunch of different stuff, or let you play around on the middle board, or let you upgrade your own personal player board. There's a polyomino aspect to this. Like each player has essentially, how in a lot of heavy Euro games like this, or medium heavy Euro games like this, I should say, players have like their own personal board, and then there's the big board in the middle. Well, this has that, but it has basically 3 personal player boards because you kind of have your special ability, then you have your city, and then you also have your technologies that you're working on too. Wild how different this game can feel depending on the strategies that you're going for, even though the spaces on the track stay the same. This is not a game I'm good at, so if you ever want to play a game with me that is like a medium heavy game that I don't win all that often, that's Tapestry. Though that might be just because I play this game with Jonathan, and Jonathan crushes me all the time. Shout out to Jonathan and Mark, who also gets crushed by Jonathan, though he wins more often than I do. Yeah, that was Tapestry, number 9. Number 8 was number 7 last year. This was the highest new game last year, and that is Concordia. Concordia, and shout out to Keith, who I bought this from at a board game flea market. Concordia is trading in the Mediterranean, which is kind of a like joke among gamers. They're like, "Oh, trading in the Mediterranean. What a unique theme!" Because there's so many games uh, with that theme. But yeah, the really cool thing about this game is the interaction of the economy. So let me talk about because two cool things in this game. The first one is on your turn, you're just playing a card from your hand and doing what it says. The actual rules of the game I can teach in like 5 minutes. It then gets more complicated because the cards you have to go through each one of them and what they do. But still, even so, the game learns pretty quickly for one of these medium heavy games. That is my entire top 10 that I'm looking at here. So on your turn, you play a card. It tells you, oh, you can get some money and then you can buy some resources, or you can move your guys and then you can build trading posts and things like that. And then eventually you'll play one card from your hand that lets you pick up all of your cards, so you can do the whole thing again. Kind of like Century Spice Road. There's some other games that use this mechanism as well. Last Life is kind of like that. Yeah. But the really cool thing is the way the economy intertwines. So there's no direct aggression in this game. You can't destroy another player's trading post or anything like that. But where you build your trading posts really interacts with the other players, because one of the most common cards is, I can't remember the name of the card, but it's the card that allows you to produce things. And she'll be like, okay, I'm going to choose this province which produces, which means you get a little bonus for choosing that province is going to produce, but everybody's trading posts in that province produce. So, of course, what that means is if you're like, oh, so and so has built a cloth trading post, which is the most expensive one, but also the most valuable one in this area in Gaul. I don't know. I'm going to go over to Gaul and build in a brick trading post over there, so that every time they're taking advantage of their thing, I'm going to get a little trickle of resources. The way the game intertwines that economy is wonderful. Anyway, that's Concordia. Number 8. We love that game. And yet there are 7 higher. Number 7 was number 4 last year, 5 before that, then 24, then 27. And this is Terra Mystica. Man, I love Terra Mystica. This is a game all about having a unique faction and then spreading out across this hex-based map, and also going up these tracks. You know how much I love tracks. I love tracks. But basically, you're trying to see the ways in which you can score points and order your production such that it gives you the most amount of points, while also improving your economy and maximizing your special abilities. There are a lot of different factions in this game. I have the Fire and Ice expansion, which adds like 6 more factions, but in the base game there are 14. So I have a total of 20. There are, I think, 20 more coming with the fan-created factions expansion, which is available on Board Game Arena. But like, I'm looking forward to getting the physical copy of that. I first learned this game on Board Game Arena. It's fantastic there. Played it a bunch, but honestly, playing it in person, really fun. I don't have the Merchants of the Seas or whatever. The one, there's an expansion that lets you build ships and stuff. I don't have it. I like to play it. It's fine. It's good. You don't really need that. Honestly, just the base game. There is so much game in this one. That is Terra Mystica. Number 6. Oh, How the Mighty Have Fallen. It's still really high, guys. It's so high. It was 2 last year, 2 before that, 1 before that, 1 before that. That's a feast for Odin. And I've been playing this game. Oh, and Domino's coughing and shocked that it has fallen to number 6. I've been playing this game a lot on Board Game Arena as well. So shout out to Lishko and Brendan, who I have a game going right now with. It's great on Board Game Arena. This is one of the most complicated worker placement games that there is. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's like the most complicated game in this top 10. It might be, it might not be. This doesn't show much on the back, but you have a little polyomino puzzle, and there are so many different resources in this game. But they all kind of work the same way, which makes it easier to grok, like easier to understand. kind of a sandbox worker placement game because there's like 60 spots where you can put your guys. So if someone blocks you, you're like, oh, that sucks. I really needed that spot. I'm going to go here instead. This is also a good thing. This is Uwe Rosenberg, my favorite designer, my favorite one from him. And the occupation cards really help too. The occupation cards, which is something he had in Agricola and I think in Caverna as well, a lot of his games, it's just like, oh, I play this card and now either it gives me a special ability one time or I now have the capability to do something. It changes the game in some way for me. So everybody starts pretty much symmetrical, but then you start diverging very quickly and developing your own capabilities. Really love this game. I won this game at Games Unlimited for like tabletop game day, years ago. And shout out to Rich, who really wanted the game, and I won it instead. And he didn't even know me at the time. But from that day forth, he's been planning his revenge. That was number 6, Feast of Rodan. Number 5 is up a few spots. This is the first deck builder in the top 10 here. It's up from 8. Now at 5, this is Great Western Trail. Great Western Trail is a game about driving cattle to Kansas City and then selling your cattle, getting points. There's a train. It's just kind of like very Euro-y, but like the theme is kind of fun, kind of cool. It's deck building in that you are getting different kinds of cows, and when you get to Kansas City, you can sell your hand of cards, but you only get benefits for each different kind of cow. So if you have all the crappy like starting cows, you're like, oh, I've got too many of these guys. I'm barely making any points, barely getting any money. So you start adding in the better cows, and you're like, heck yes, I got some cows now. How now, brown cow? Sorry, that was just in the back of my mind. One of the reasons this has gone up a bit is because I got the expansion, Wales to the North, and it's really good. Just adds in some more capabilities, some more fun things for you to do, more options. This is another game I feel like I'm not that great at it, but that might just be because I played with Ian several times, and Ian's too good at it. So shout out to Ian for that. But yeah, plays really well at 2, 3, and 4 in my opinion. It's a little bit long at 4, but still play it. Great game. That's Great Western Trail. Great game. Great Western Trail. Somewhere there is a joke. Create your own. Number 4 was 5 last year. It was 4 before that. This is has solidly been in my top 5 games for a long time here. This is Ark Nova. This is the game of building a zoo. It is, what to say about this game? There are a lot of different strategies you can do. This is another one of those games that has just like a huge chunk of cards that are all different, like SETI, for example. And I really like that because you can be like, I know this card's really good. I'm going to see if I can pair it with this card and like get some synergies to work out here. The action selection system is very interesting in that you have 5 cards. And each turn you choose one of them to use for your action for your turn. And then you use however good is that based on its own spot in the 5. You move it down to the bottom. Everything else shifts up to cover that. So planning ahead for when you're taking various actions is really cool. I got the expansion, when it came out, which was maybe a year ago. I might have had it last time I made the list. I can't remember. But the expansion is really good too. Marine Worlds adds a lot of. Do I got something going on there? I don't take great care of my games. Probably just peanut butter or something. I don't know. The expansion is really great. Adds in all these marine animals and some interesting capabilities where you can chain reef animals together and stuff like that. But the one thing the expansion adds that's really great is everybody starts with different action cards. So your build card might be slightly different than mine. So you got the 5 basic ones. Everybody's going to start with 2 of them that are going to be different from the other players. I really like that. Trying to maximize your benefits from that is a lot of fun. Honestly, probably plays best at 2 just because it can take a while. But I'll play it at 3 or 4. Great. That's number 4, Ark Nova. Getting into the top 3. Number 3, All Reliable. It's last year on the list. It was number 3. The year before was number 3. The year before was number 2. Where it debuted at number 2, which is definitely the highest the game has debuted. Terraforming Mars. So, Terraforming Mars, I played this game so much. I played it almost to death. That being said, there are so many different cards in here. There's so many different ways you can play the game, strategies you can pursue, so many different corporations. You all start as like a unique corporation. And now a new expansion came out recently. It was Prelude 2. Um, and yeah, I love getting more Prelude cards. They have some crazy ones in there, like Merger, where you start with two corporations instead of one. Insane. Um, yeah, and I I do like the Turmoil expansion, but it's definitely my least favorite of them. I like playing the game mostly with all the expansions except for Turmoil, and that's my favorite way to play. I have some playmats now with new boards that came out from the last expansion. Yeah, it's a really solid game, and like we talk about your gateway games being thing like games to introduce people to the hobby, welcoming games, whatever you want to call them, being things like what are some great examples? Ticket to Ride. I always talk about Ticket to Ride, or Azul, or Splendor, or things like that. I'll tell you what, if someone is up for it and they're gonna have the patience to learn and play this game, and their first game might take 3.5 hours, it's a great welcoming game. It's a great intro to show people what board games can do because you are constantly getting that feedback loop, those dopamine hits of like, I did this, therefore I get this, and now I'm better at doing this thing. Or even you played a city, therefore I get to add a pet to my card because I have the pets card, which is fun. Yeah, it's a game I resisted playing for a while just because it was popular and I have that contrary streak to me. Shouldn't have resisted. It's fantastic. Terraforming Mars, staying in the top 10, that's for sure. Hasn't been slowly dropping or anything. Number 2. So here we go. Only 2 games left. And I know most people who know my preferences know what one of them is. And is it going to be number 1 or number 2? Domino. We're talking about that later. It's going to be the mailman. No, I'm just kidding. Number 2 is up 40 spots. It was 42 last year. This is Revive. And shocking, maybe, but man, I love this game. Last year when I made the list, I had only played it, I think, once. Shout out to Jimmy for introducing me to this one. And I've now played it a bunch more times. Still haven't even played the expansion, and it's number 2. Like, this game is so good. In this game, it's like a little post-apocalyptic sort of thing where you have your unique tribe, and then you're all spreading out from the middle of this board, and you're exploring spots, and you're going up these tracks. And the tracks that you go up primarily are these ones on your board, which are kind of interwoven throughout each other here. And when you unlock certain spots, you can grab machines. And so, like, this is one giant machine, basically, that you're putting these little slots in, because it's a dual-layer player board, and creating your own special abilities that you can use, like, for free actions. That's so neat. Like, it feels really cool. This is kind of a deck building game. It's really not. It's really more of a hand building game because you never like draw a hand of cards. You're playing 2 hands at the same time. So you're kind of building 2 different hands. And at the end, when you decide to take a rest action, basically, whatever it's called, I can't remember, you take all the cards that are in play, you put them to the side, and then you take all the cards that you had previously put to the side, and you put them into whatever's left of your hand. So in that way, you are continually building 2 different hands and trying to basically like improve your capabilities and your actions through that. There are also like some ways, like some machines are like, oh, take a card that you've already played and put it into one of these slots and put it off to the side so you're going to get it back for your next round after you do a rest action. There's a lot of content in the game. I still have only played with like the basic side of the player boards. I think it's the sun side. I don't think I've tried the moon side at all. And yeah, I'm sure we will at some point, but like I don't feel a need to. It's so good. Yeah. Number 2, that's Revive. Which means, of course, the king is still the king for the 3rd year in a row. It debuted at number 3 in 2022. Then it was 1, then 1, still 1, to Imperium. I love this game. There is a new version of the game called Dune Imperium Uprising. It's great, but like I'm not going to put both of them on my top 100. And this is the one that I have, and this is the one that I love. Has a great app version. Has two main expansions now, but then they added in like there's like a third expansion that I don't have. That's for both Dune Imperium Uprising and for this. Yeah, I might pick it up at some point, but honestly, this has got plenty of stuff for me. It is deck building, so certainly my favorite deck building game. It's also worker placement. It's also unique player abilities, and then finding out how to win these little conflicts at the middle, go up these tracks on the side. And this is like all the things I love, right? Like you can see why it's my favorite game. Deck building, unique player powers, tracks. Love me some tracks. The expansion adds even more tracks in. Like each expansion adds in its own new track. Worker placement, love worker placement. Resource management, where you really only have like the three main resources, which is great. I don't mind. I like resource management as long as you don't have more than like four resources or something like that. Yeah, Dune Imperium still top of the heap. Great game. Shout out to Paul Denon. I think I had Clank on my list earlier. And yeah, Dune Imperium still at the top. So let me know what you thought. Let me know what surprised you, if anything. Let me know what I put too low. And let me know if there's any of these games you want me to teach you, because I'd be happy to. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining with. I'm sure I'll keep the channel going on a on a smaller basis between crazy job stuff and baby coming. But like I want to keep doing my top 100 every year. Let me know other topics you have that you'd like me to do. And yeah, I appreciate you watching. Thanks. Bye.